The modern times, finally beautiful modern trucks and beautiful modern cars on the streets of Tropico and modern clothes. How very nice. And yeah, with all of this, welcome back to Tropico 6 once again to my bustling port town. And in that case here, yeah, with the modern times comes once again the challenges of trade. There is some export coming in right now, or going out, right? The income comes in from that. And we want to get our trade routes sorted again. We already have relationships now with the EU and with the US, so my most important partners, and we already get some nice trade contracts there. And yeah, let's just go ahead. Of course, it's not ideal to take this one here long-term wise, but medium-term looks nice to me. You get a very nice boost in reputation with that. Also cars, I'm very interested in selling that. There's only one of them available as far as I can see. It's with Russia, so they want my cars. Let's also go with a medium one. And as you can see, every time I'm signing one of these, I do lose relation with the other superpowers. However, it's more reputation with this one here than with all the other ones, right? So it's still worth it to go with several powers here and improving your relationship, except the smugglers. Everybody hates the smugglers, so it's usually not something I like to do. Jewelry is something that we can do. I think all the way down here, yeah, weapons to the US, of course. And let's go with a medium contract there again. And with that, we have some trade routes going now once more, bringing us juicy additional money, hopefully 46,000 for now. Now, back to my industry, of course, things are changing around quite a bit again with the new era. First of all, I would also like to build me a couple more embassies now. That is the most important thing. So we have the embassy row. And I would like to get at least 2 more going here. Alright, so there you go. 2 more with 2 additional superpower relationships improvements. While this is being built, let's check it out, my tree. It's a beauty. And this one here has manure in again, and we're working on the last upgrade now for a Biggdrasil. Right, and then we'll just see what this tree is capable of doing. With the modern times, of course, the most important early thing that we need to do right away is the hydroponic plantations. Cultivates a chosen type of crop to produce the corresponding goods, costs electricity, but since we have the nuclear power as of last episode, I don't care about electricity that much. With this, we can finally do something very cool now, and that is go in and, yeah, upgrade all of my plantations to these hydroponic plantations. And it looks like this. Amazing, right? We're saving a lot of space with that, and that's the end of farming officially, right? It's indoor farming now that we have, and that also means that we can, yeah, relocate a bunch of things here now in my old agricultural district. Those will just switch the manure spreader there a bit. There's also the modernize button for the animal.
This is fantastic. Natural energy and spiritual creativity and nature. People are starting to use their little bit of green space as a garden. How wonderful.
Okay, and with that, have the eco apartment with a housing quality of 113 in range with Biggdrasil as a new quest. There's also the modern ranches now. They're pretty great as well. So these are gonna produce me way more than before. Also, we can have them now tightly together. All of this, right? So that is the biggest advantage of all of this, space effectively. I would still like to have my plantations more or less on the main island, right? Because you constantly need to transport all of this. The question is just where should we have them on this island? Yeah, I think this backwater there is the perfect location really for it. Of course, we could also have it here, but this is just very, this is quite a prominent location, right? So everybody would see my plantation area, plus it would look very cramped. So I think in the back here, we just have a lot of flat land that makes sense for this. However, for this, I would like to remodel my roads here a bit, right? So that we can divert traffic a bit more optimally, because of course, there is a lot of traffic with these. So I would like to, first of all, move all my hydroponic plantations now as close to this area here as possible. So this is really the whole end over there, right? Check it out. This is moving. Let me move this one. There you go. There you go. Tightly together now, all of them. And we even have room for a few more plantations if I like to. Next in line, what I can do is, or what I would like to do is, I'm gonna connect now this road here. So this continues then over here. And then we should be able to make a smooth connection here. There you go, right? So this is the road then that goes all the way here into my harbor area. They could also probably use this road here, but we'll just see. Whatever road, this looks a bit too curvy there. Overall, very nice. We have them all tightly together now over here. I wonder if the manure spreader still works. I have no idea, honestly, if the manure spreader works with the hydroponic plantations. Doesn't seem like it, because it would actually highlight them, right? So that's probably not gonna happen. The greatest thing about this, of course, is also not only that it costs less space, but also that it does not require soil fertility anymore. So you can have them basically everywhere now, these hydroponic plantations, and they will always just work out in the maximum, right? This is what I like. So I'm gonna build me actually 3 more. Do we have 3 more? Yes. 4 additional crops that we can have, especially growing stuff that we need for our processing industry. Now, next in line, the factory ranches, they have an input now, right, as well. So they need corn in. That's the most important thing for them to really work. What I will definitely also need here is more Teamster offices. So I already have a bunch of them here. And it's probably safe to get them together here, because you will need a lot of these Teamster offices. It's a lot of transportation, basically. And the thing with that is also we can move them also away here from my city, right? So where we don't really need them anymore. I just love modernization, honestly. EU demand Eileen Dupont.
Good. Do you have an appointment?
An embassy she wants with a local liberty of 57. Okay, I think we can do this by getting the newspaper in new work mode. Nope, that's the open mind already. Everything else is just there for money making. Another great invention is the automated mine. Extracts basically everything that we had so far, but emits smaller pollution and does it more effectively. With that, we can go in here now and modernize all the mines. That's another 26,000 we need to do, but it's absolutely worth it, because these mines just look better, and they will also then extract me hopefully more goods, especially then as well also my nickel. Automated overseer, let's also go and take this one. Efficiency increase by 10%. Gladly take that. Middle East demand, fulfill a demand, an export route with that. We also have the next embassies going, so I would like to go with China, and I would like to go with Russia on these. That we have them all, and I can now also praise them all again, improving my relationship. There you go, and also get better trade contracts out of it. This area here, we can then also just, you know, make a bit more beautiful, adding some park area to this one. Can we make it like here? Trees are really expensive though, holy cow. Time to quickly check out the new industry for the new world, for the modern times. It's the juicery here. That is a very tiny building that produces juice out of bananas and pineapples. We have that plenty available, so I would like to get this going. Let's just check it out where we should have it. Yeah, I mean, this would be an optimal choice. Oh, yeah, this is also something that I would like. And then we have the apparel, the electronics, and the pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals need oil though. We don't really have a lot of oil right now. The same goes with the plastics. So that's something. But we have now also the oil rig. So this is something you can have on the ocean to produce oil. For this though, let's check it out. Do we have oil in the ocean? Yeah, 3 times. Look at that. There is an opportunity here for a new industry. Very important also, the office, of course. So generates profit based on the number of employees in it, and it basically takes high school people, right, and they work in there, and this just produces them passive income. It's like a bank, but just better, and I would of course like to have this. Where should we have them? Yeah, I think here in the town center we could have one, and we're gonna build a second one here, probably by the banks. That we have at least 2 offices going. They're very costly, and they're also gonna take in a lot of personnel, so yeah, that's gonna take some time anyway. For new buildings, we also have the modern apartment now. This will however cost me electricity. Speaking about electricity, very important now, I would like to get another power plant going, and this is now the solar power panel plant, right? This is clean, and it does not need any input other than workforce. And this produces quite a lot of electricity in comparison. So half of what a nuclear power plant does, but of course without any input. So it's not bad at all. We could have it over here because there's the space. I could also have it here by in my area where we already have the nuclear power plant going. There's not a lot of space though. Down here we have more space and the power grid. It's really far outside though, right? So we'll just see how commuting times will be for this remote location. Going a nice curved road over. And you know what? Since we should have enough uranium anyway, especially since that is an automated mine now, we could also afford a second nuclear power plant. And I think I'm gonna do this in this area too. Gonna need some houses again, especially, I mean, these are pretty well off probably. They're rich in fact, so we should have some proper housing for them. A secure mansion for the rich. Just beside the power plant or on the beach. Or a bit further inside. Another new building, very important, we should get this going, is the hospital. This will just accommodate way more people than before. The clinics are really not enough for this. And I'm gonna have this also somewhere here in the city center. You don't really see where the entrance is, right, for these, but it must be something like this. Also the circus, I'm gonna move this one a bit further now away, as I think it fits better over here. And with that we can continue with this road.
My promises are made humbly,
because we definitely also want to expand now into this area. And speaking about this area, we have still a logging camp and a coconut harvester here. This must have been working since the beginning, right? The coconut harvester. Let's get this one over there. Not that we really need coconuts. It's still nice to have this one going though. A drone command. Yes. We have so many things going right now. Not even funny anymore. Also, my offices are working, right? So they're now fully occupied, starting to produce this passive money now. So per month, this one here, 800, for example. Yeah, and fully occupied. That's my biggest surprise, honestly. Also, we have our solar power panels now working, and this is giving me quite the bump again because we're actually out of electricity. Right, and this one here gives me now enough again so that we have some to spare. And sparing I want to do with the most important invention of the new world, of the modern times, of the new times, and that is of course the metro station. This one is a much improved version of the bus now, right, and it delivers people instantly almost. It cost me 20 electricity though, and it also decreases the crime safety in the area. So that's something that we need to take care of. Of course, we should have them in several locations. So I think the main city here gets 2, right? So that we have one here and one here, for example. We want to have especially one up here in my farming area. So right in here. People can go to their workplaces as quickly as possible. Definitely also want to have one by Biggdrasil. Right, so that people can also visit all these accommodations up here quickly, and definitely also one down here in my docks area, as central as possible. It doesn't need a road connection, so we can really just have it somewhere here in the backwater of this. This is going to be a lot of electricity. You're instantly finishing them. That's a cool thing about them, and they're basically now functioning as a means to instantly travel on the island. And what also happens with that is that you can now have dedicated housing areas, right, where people live, as long as it's connected with a metro station, no props. Because people don't lose time anymore to go to their work. Like with the bus, they had to wait for the bus all day, if you remember my soldiers. Another very cool upgrade that I just found is the fiber fertilization. So this is actually something that boosts the efficiency of nearby plantations and hydroponic plantations by 10%, and it can actually stack 2 times. So if we have it once, perhaps if I need a second time on any of the other ones, there it is, right, to get additional 20% out of that. With modern times comes modern housing, tenements. This is for the poor, especially, and we do have quite a few. There's also a metro station here close by, so I would like to use this to have some housing blocks also closing in on them, Yeah, for this district here, right? So let's just check it out. We do have. I would like to make a housing block here, something like in the center. Let's actually build them first. There's still the flop house. I don't like the flop house there. I'm gonna move the flop house a bit further away. By the way, for eco stuff, we don't have anything new, right? It's the eco apartment that was the last one, and that's it. And then right out here, we can have now some of these apartments. And yeah, gonna make. Wait a second. Actually, keep a bit of space between them. We could make it like so. Better, right? So you have some sort of park in the center. Going all the way to the end here. Around them. And on top of that, of course, what they want is a fast food joint. We're gonna have this one close too. And we're just gonna have the fast food joint behind the school. Is that a good idea? I don't think so. Gonna have it over here somewhere. Between all the housing. And we are also going to need now the metro station. I would like to have it really central there somewhere. Beside the hospital. Sounds like a good idea. That's the housing for the poor. And then we should also have some housing for the well-off or better. And this is, of course, the apartment as well. Costs a lot of electricity though. So with this we need to be careful. I cannot just spam the modern apartment like crazy. So I would like to have one at least beside my office here, and we're probably gonna have a second one here also beside my office, right? So that we have some kind of spreading here, and yeah, that's about it. Since we do have the leather and the cloth, I would also like to have my next industry, the fashion company. Also gonna have this one somewhere here, just along the main road, where we can easily get it in. And as you can see, it's getting a bit tight now here. We still have apartments. That we probably also want to have here for too long anymore.
Presidente, what a bummer. You're an enemy of the
Okay, let's just check it out what my Biggdrasil is doing. Yeah, it takes a lot of manure this time. Can't hurt to also have a ministry with different ministers now in it, and all of them have different bonuses, like for example increases the efficiency of buildings with a maximum budget by 7%, or police stations also provide now infantry squads during attacks. Or this one is also pretty nice, it generates 50 additional knowledge per month per college and high school. We should also get going with some additional research. Hydroponic plantation is one of them. This enables a new work mode up here, almost free of nature, increases the consumption of power, but also increases the efficiency by another 10%. I would like to enable this one for all my plantations, and with that we're pushing above 200% efficiency now. At the same time though, a massive guerrilla attack attacks all my electricity production. So in that case, I definitely should have something over here to protect my nuclear power plants especially. A barrack would do fine, I guess. We could also have the army base that provides a tank squad. It's pretty expensive though when you do this. But I think it's the best option we have right now. So let's go ahead and get me an army base going. Right here where we have our nuclear power plants and stuff like that. Here we increase this city-like area here more and more, right? There we go. And I'm gonna instantly finish this to get rid of them. Also increase the budget for these 2 workers because it's really not more than that. And also upgrade the tanks right away to an MK2. This is a much better version of it, and they should hopefully take care of these bastards now. For the fires... Oh, again? Elections are coming in so quickly. We should probably... prolong the duration of my presidency. Yeah, acknowledge... No, faith is not an issue. Liberty. Praise the faction, blame no one, and improve liberty. That's what I like to do.
Tropico. Some call it the Valley of the Shadow of Despair.
Yeah, the Valley of the Shadow of Despair. That's a perfect name to categorize my city. Holy cow, they're really destructive here, right? These guerrillas. They're fleeing now because the tanks are there, right? Send the helicopter to quickly douse the flames here.
Oh, rest assured, Nothing is more precious to me.
So there's the helicopter
I hear
coming,
your concerns
taking care
about
of the fire
rights
here.
to our
Ooh,
liberty, and I assure you, they will
lucky it
not
cannot
stand.
crash really.
I
With that, at
promise
least this
you
is working again. We need to get the
unimaginable
power back
freedoms.
online.
You'll barely know what.
Another big uprising over here, but we do have guard towers close by. So at least this area is being protected. And now the soldiers come with the metro. Perfect. Okay, next I would like to open up a new industry for us. That's the oil rigs now finally. So this will cost me 20,000 each. We're starting with one, of course, out here. And start producing some oil. This is pretty important because oil is going to be very valuable for us when we work towards plastic. Yeah, finally the oil is flowing. There's quite a lot of traffic now in the ocean here, as we're getting all of this in, and that also means now we can have one additional industry, or actually two. The first one starts with the plastic that processes oil to plastics, and then we have the electronics that processes gold and plastics to electronics. This is then really valuable, but I'm not entirely sure how much gold we have for this. Let's start with the plastics plant anyway. Yeah, and as you can see, it's getting a bit tight here now, so this is not even possible anymore. That's a bummer. I would like to have it really here instead of these bunkhouses there, because we have the poor, right, living over here now. They should move to this block that we have there. Yeah, by the way, also changed a bit here, right? Cathedral took place. I've also moved all the skyscrapers into this area, so it just feels better to have a centralized area for the skyscrapers rather than spreading them out. And with that, we also have a plastics factory coming into Tropico now as well, where everything else here is in addition. This should bring in lots of money. Hopefully. Way more important though is that we create jobs, because right now we have a pretty high unemployment rate, especially for high school, right?
We have word from the palace officially
That
denied
means I could
that there are
probably
any
wait a
plans to
second.
genetically
I mean,
engineer
this is
more
college.
compliant
Oh,
citizens.
we do have a college, right? So we are producing college degrees now anyway, but for the high school, let's check it out. Perhaps we got a service building or so for high school students. Well, the hydroponic plantations need high school. They're cheap and they provide work spaces. So let's go ahead and do this. We do need more anyway. And we need to find a new location for this though, right? Because the main island is really full at this point. We still have this area over there. So we have a metro station here also somewhere. There it is. So we could have some plantations here piling up. It wouldn't look good, right? So what we have is here in this tiny cluster over there, a bit further away, where we have already Stonehenge working for us. So I could have another road going then through the nature part here, and then into this area here, right, where we are building up a whole hydroponic area now. The first thing that I should add right away is, of course, a metro station, because I don't want to have any residential zones here. And then we just push the plantations here. And yeah, it's going to be quite a few of them. Start with 3 here, and let's also make another 2 here, right, and then we'll just see how it goes. Whole bunch of interesting tech we have too. The diplomatic super party, for example, increases the standing of each superpower by 20 upon activation. It does cost me, I think, around 20,000 to enable this one here. But of course, we can then ask financial aid for all of them. So in a cycle of 5 years, we can get 100,000 out of our embassies this way. What I like too is the speedway increases the speed of vehicles using the roads by 15%. This costs me 600 per month though. That's a tiny price. Another cool one is the light bulb ban. So this decreases the power requirement of every residential building by 50%. It, however, increases the pollution of my garbage dump, and it increases the upkeep of each waste treatment facility by 50%. Let's go ahead and get this one done as well. So there's the diplomatic superpower. Yes, we do have 20,000 for this. I'm not going to activate this one just now. And then we have the speedway. I would like to activate this one right away. And there's the light bulb ban. Let's also activate this one here as well, as this will save me even more power now. By the way, we should electrify our tenements too. We haven't done this yet, right? Another rebel attack. This time though we are prepared. And that is of course with my tanks. Alright. What is going on? Oh, they're already fleeing so that they don't take part in that. Already fleeing from the tank. 150,000 is my latest record in export. Great stuff. We are also exporting plastic now. I'm gonna activate a new trade license so that we can also, just in case if it's possible, get the plastics going. There it is, Middle East, 20%. Yeah, let's go with the higher volume because I'm not intending of going for electronics anytime soon. We don't have the gold for that. Lucky us, look at that. There's also a gold deposit here where we have our hydroponic plantation set up. What a nice coincidence. This means a bit more gold now. Let's push this up right away. There's 60,000 gold waiting in here to be mined. How's the tree looking? As we can see, it's coming along. So 800 manure still in and running. Finished, I think. The more manure coming in right now. Would be lovely. Oh, even those 800 are not enough. It's crazy how much manure this tree needs. And finally, as the city is growing and growing and we're nearing the millennium, also what we have now is the final upgrade to my tree. All the shit is in and the tree can now finally grow to its maximum. And yeah, with that, let's go ahead. Green foreign relations or green private relations. So offices in the area are now affected by nature. All embassies are now affected by nature, giving a permanent standing bonus to the invited superpowers up to 15. Alright, let's go ahead and get this one done. And with that, we have finished the quest.
It is even more gargantuan than some sacred tree I heard about. That's what I call Biggdrasil. Just look, Presidente. It doesn't just reach the sky, it holds it up. How well did we do, Sonny? I mean, you, Presidente.
Okay, and this last growth spurred the trick and wrote out Tropico and Biggdrasil into the book of records. People from all over the world will come here to marvel at our tree. We finished all quests. We're also now on ally status with all superpowers. Have exported enough, planted the trees, and finished that tree. What an amazing DLC!
After years, nay, decades, nay, centuries, we finally have the Tree of Trees, a world wonder among world wonders, a Tropican original made in Tropico, even using typical Tropican methods, so nobody can say it's still foreign, right? That heist was a genius move, even though it never happened. We're all brilliant, and I even more so. Good night, Tropico. Look at our beautiful tree and our beautiful island. And don't forget to vote, or else.
Finding the right words as always, sexy penultimo. And with that, we're coming to the end of this Let's Play with this DLC, Return to Nature. Highly recommended on my part. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching. Cheers!